Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Augustino Zoida, the host of the Homeschooled Podcast, and I'm here with my co-host Kevin Lyons.
Hey!
It's always great to have Kevin here, and our guest today is Jimmy Shubert. Welcome back, Shuby.
What's up, brother? It's good to be back.
It's great to have you back, man. I haven't had you on since we just recently started doing video podcasts, so now people can get a good look at you.
Yeah, nobody wants to get a good look at me, bro. I look like I get hit in the head with a bag of nickels. You know what I mean? Who was this?
It's always a pleasure having you on, man. And before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Boomer Natural Wellness. Boomer Natural Wellness is a pure hemp CBD organic company. Organic CBD infused products such as gummies and lotions and the ointments that you put on for pain in your joints and the oils to help you sleep. Listen, it's all on there at Boomer Natural Wellness. Known for and has been proven to reduce pain and inflammation, reducing stress and anxiety, promoting well-being, improving mood, improving sleep.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. I'm a big CBD product user. So
you do, right? You had two knee surgeries.
I had both my knees replaced, and I used the CBD to come off of the opioids, which was great. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but also helps you sleep. I've never slept better on the CBD oil. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just I swear by it. You know, because you don't have they have the 1-to-1 ratio and stuff. You can do that with the THC, but certainly I love the CBD oil. Mm-hmm. I mean, I use the creams, I use the oils. It's fantastic.
When it comes to CBD, there's a lot of options out there, but you guys got to make sure that you're using organic products, okay? I mean, Shubert and I sat out there in the comedy store and hung out with what's his name, Gino from Speedweed, right? And he sat there and told us this whole stories about how he has patients where he has proven that in the injection over time has actually reduce their cancer more and more and more. Yeah. I mean, it's really a freaking miracle.
There's really no side effects to it. That's the thing. It's not. It doesn't show up in a urine test because it's not the THC. It's the CBD oil. It really is a miracle kind of cure. And I've read articles that said that states that allow people to do CBD and sell marijuana products or the opioid use is down like 40%. I mean,
it's fantastic, you guys. Now you too can fight cancer, anxiety relief, neuroprotective, anti-seizure, natural pain relief, diabetes prevention, and now at Boomer Natural Wellness, you can get products for your pets too. What about the fucking pets, you guys?
Yeah, man.
You forgot all about them.
What about the pet?
They're watching your back. You got your little, what do you call them, Shubert? What do you call the pets that are the emotional
animals,
support?
Like, emotional support animals, comfort animals.
Yeah, you got your therapy dog.
He's there sitting there licking his balls. Throw him a little CBD oil.
He's there. He's there for your anxiety. What about his anxiety? You ever think about that?
Yeah. What about the fact that you're such a nutbag? You're making him a nutbag. How about that?
But right now on Boomer Natural Wellness, you can now get products for your pets, including treats, oils that you can put in his dog food that helps with their coat, their digestion, and their overall mood. And if you got a pet that freaks out when you leave them alone in the house, they got like separation anxiety. This really helps for their separation anxiety and anxiety in general for your pets and for yourself. So right now you can go to Boomer Natural Wellness and use the promo code LittleD20 to get 20% off your whole entire order. All right, you guys, Little D20 ships nationwide, and they have an actual store in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you're over there, go and pop in the store and see what you can pick up. All right, you guys, that's all the sponsors for today. And as I said, we got Jimmy Shubert here. Kevin Lyons is here. I'm Augustino Zoida, and this is Homeschooled Podcast.
Please take your seats. School is now in session.
Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool. The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
No, okay.
I don't want to do that at all. Welcome back, Shubert.
Good to be back, bro.
It's all right.
School's out, bro.
School's out.
School's out.
That's a fire alarm. We're I don't know what this is. This is like episode 224 or some shit, and
nice.
And we haven't had you on since we passed the 200s, and we haven't had you on since we did do video. So it's good to have you, man.
Yeah, good to be back, dude. I'm super excited. Got a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, you do. You were gone for I haven't seen you in a month.
Dude, because I did the Nantucket Comedy Festival. I
Yeah.
flew into Philly, saw my folks, did a show there, and then I went up to Montreal, then I went to Reno, then I went to Vegas, and then I stayed in Vegas an extra 4 days because I went to Magic Live, which is a giant magic conference up there, which is cool. Like 2,000 magicians come from all over the world with the latest technology, latest gadgets and stuff. So that was like a kind of an extra kind of couple days I stayed out there, which was awesome. And now I'm back, and I did the improv Sunday night, and then I'm just kind of chilling out before I get ready. I'm going to Edmonton for our friends Rick and Tammy Bronson.
Yeah.
I'm doing that room up there, and then Sunday I fly to Vegas, and I'm opening for Russell Peters at the Pearl Theater. And then in October we're going on a little world tour. We're going to do a couple dates in India, 3 dates in India. We're going to Kuwait, and then we're going over to Nigeria.
Damn, dude.
It's crazy, right?
That is really crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the passport stamps. I love traveling. I mean, it's so great to it's funny when you think about it, like comedy has taken me all over the world. Like I've been to Afghanistan, dude. I was a former operating bases in Afghanistan because I was on a DOD Armed Forces tour. I've been through like South America, El Salvador, Cuba, Andros Island, Honduras, El Salvador, and then Puerto Rico, and then also through Germany. We took a tour bus through Germany, went to Kosovo, did a couple dates in England. Yeah, I went to Brussels and Netherlands and did and plus the China stuff. The Asia tours were great. I've been to South Korea a couple times. Once on Armed Forces Entertainment. 1 year I went and filmed this K-drama, this Korean drama over there. That I got hired to go over there, so I was over there for 7 days, and I wound up working on this thing. I did some stand-up while I was there.
What is that, a show?
Yeah, it's a
TV
show. It's called Drama World. It's on Netflix, I believe. It was on Netflix at some point, but it's still, like, if you search my name, Jimmy Shubert, Drama World, come up in the first and last episode. But that was a cool thing to do.
Wait, was it in Korean or what?
No, it was. Some of it was in Korean. It was like a crossover. They were trying to, because K-dramas are hugely popular.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the tourism to South Korea are because people want to go and see where they film these shows. Like you forget, like Asia, they got a thing over there. I think it's called. I forget what it's. What the Netflix equivalent over there is. They got 40 million subscribers, and so they do these shows, and people watch them, and people in Germany watch them, and then they come over. And they want to see where these shows are filmed, so it's interesting. They're hugely popular. I think it's called Viki.com maybe is their Netflix, and so, but it's interesting. Yeah.
What was it like filming on there?
Great. I mean, great crews, like skeleton crews. They worked their tails off, and it's great. It was really great. They were American directors and stuff like that, and so they shot I think 13 episodes over there, and they just filmed them in one succession, and it was cool, man. It's great. I mean, so I'm looking forward to getting a few more passport stamps and going to India. I've never been. I've heard amazing things about India, and so I'm super excited. And Russell Peters is like the Elvis of India.
Yeah.
I'll be the Bill Bixby to his Elvis, and go check it out.
Dude, that's so true. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so
like he is the equivalent of their Elvis.
Yeah, and I've talked to guys. I talked to Jason Rouse, who's toured with him, and Jason Collins has toured with him, and they have nothing. And Russell Peters is first off one of the nicest guys in show business. I swear to God, like when I was on Last Comic Standing that season, we went deep into the competition. Russell was so gracious to me and so nice to me, and it was just this call came out of the blue.
Is that where you met him?
Yeah, no, I knew who he was before. Yeah,
sure.
But Last Comic Standing, we kind of really met, and we were able to have some talks. And he asked me a couple times. He goes, "You ever want to work?" I'd love to work with you, Shubert. I really would. And it just was a timing thing, and it just comes at the right time for me. I did Nantucket, and I got a new manager, Rick Dorfman, who's with Authentic Talent and Literary, which is great. I mean, it was really missing piece to my career puzzle. Was I was waiting for somebody like you need a champion like that to come along, and he was so cool and gracious and said some really nice things about my stand-up, and he goes, "I just want to help you. I think you're so talented." And so we went back and forth a couple times, and he goes, "Yeah, let's do it." And I go, "Okay, let's do it." So it's great. So
how did you connect with him in the first place?
He apparently he has a house on Nantucket, and he had his client Chris DiStefano, who was really funny, great guy.
I know who he is.
Yeah, we hit it off. We were just laughing.
He's really funny.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's a great kid too.
New York comic, right?
Yeah, New York comic, and we were just laughing and goofing off, and then Rick and I talked to Rick afterwards, and he just said, "Man," he goes, "I see a lot of comedy." He goes, "Man, you had me crying. I had tears coming out. I was on my knee twice out of the chair. You made me laugh so hard." And I just, I think, if I didn't do that festival, he would have never seen me.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he did, because he seems like he's my kind of guy. It's one thing to have a manager, but it's better when they approach you rather than you trying to get a manager. And you think you need a manager for things, but he's really, really serious about what he does, and so I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, they approach you because they see your act and they know, first of all, that you're talented and you're
Plus,
funny.
he's
and
ridiculously busy. He's not going to waste my time. He's not going to waste his time.
Sure.
There's no reason to it, and so. After talking a couple times and trading phone calls, I see what I got to lose, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how it works out. But in the meantime, everything's going great.
The Nantucket Festival, they do that every year. Isn't correct me if that's wrong? Is that like split into two different categories of like New York comics and Boston comics? Is that what I heard?
They do a competition at the end where they figure out who they put the New York comics against Boston comics, but there's only like really one theater there, so all the shows are at the same place. And then they have these hosts comes out, and after the shows, you go to these house parties, and you meet some of the VIP sponsors, and it's all for a great cause. They raise a lot of money,
Yeah.
And so they put you up and they fly you in, and you get to do these cool venues, and they're big comedy fans. They really like the comedy, so it's like a real asset for them because it's kind of a draw why people come to the island, But
You've done that festival before, haven't you?
Have not done the festival.
Oh, that was your first time?
First time I did it because my buddy Jackie Flynn was shooting Louder Milk, and so he was unable to do it and called me and asked me if I would do it.
Perfect.
Do the third season. Then, obviously I went up to Montreal. I was there before the festival started. I was up at the Comedy Nest, which was cool. But I didn't hang out for the festival. I was there the year before. That summer I was there, and so I did a gala up there. But yeah, and then I went to Vegas and just did just cranked out like 14 shows. That Laugh Factory did. It's a
So
grind.
Laugh Factory in Vegas makes you do 2 shows a day?
Yeah, 2 shows
7
a night.
days in a row.
Yeah.
So Monday through Sunday.
But I like it because I was working on a bunch of new stuff, and for me, I listen. When I work, I work. I'd like to get in, and so I took notes from the first show. I went back up and reworked some of the stuff, and then you work on it again the second night, and you could pick a specific bit, and you get to really work on stuff, like really kind of hone it out. And so by the end of the week, dude, your act's pretty tight.
Yeah, man. That's Sunday crowd. I don't even know, bro. People want to fucking go Monday, go Sunday. That's when the shit's all worked out. I'm just fucking around.
No.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No. It is. Well, it's Vegas. You get a lot of like lunatics out there. There's piles of genetic debris walking around that city, bro. And you can't go outside because it's 114 degrees.
Oh, no.
And so you just kind of But it's it's fun, man. I just I still love making people laugh. It's funny, I didn't turn into some bitter, jaded fucking prick. I just love creating comedy, and I love making people laugh, and it's,
It's fucking one of the greatest things in the world, man.
Being a bitter, jaded prick is fun too sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't have it in my heart, man.
I know.
You know what I mean? I mean, look, I count my blessings every day, man. Look at where I want to be in my career. No, but I'm still having a hell of a good time. You know what I mean? I mean, I still get to travel and see the world and do stuff. So it's it's fun, and I get to act once in a while, and I get to go perform at the Magic Castle when I can, when I have time off, and I work on my act, and it's like my hobby.
Yeah.
But it's kind of developing into like a kind of getting more and more into it. It's just, but I just like it.
How are you getting more into it? Are you doing more magic shows or what?
Well, no, just working on the act more and working on the different you got to put together an act. I mean, you watch some of these guys; they're such world-class magicians. I just saw this guy named Danny D'Ortiz. He's from Spain. All the great card magicians are from Spain. I saw this guy named Henry Evans, who's from Argentina. These guys are fucking amazing. Just mind blowing. I'm sitting out and I do magic and it's blowing my mind. So it's kind of fun to watch. I mean, some people don't like magic. I happen to be a magic nerd. Some people do music. Some people are into that. I know Chris Porter plays guitar, and Bill Burr plays the drums. And I think creative people are creative people. They're creative in every endeavor that they do. So
yeah, man. So when you were in Vegas, you went to you stayed an extra 4 days for the Magic convention, you said, right?
Yeah, we go over to New Orleans, and it's this big thing, and they do these sessions. But what I like about it, and what I found interesting about it, is because they have these, they call them the day sessions, but they have these people come in and talk, and all of it's designed to make you a better magician. And there's this guy who did this storyteller lecture about stories, about how storytellers rule the world. Storytellers restore order with imagination, And they do it over and over and over again. Storytellers have a really unfair advantage because, if you connect viscerally to an audience telling your story, and if you use that in your magic and also your stand-up, and he told this great story. He was like, I'm an average magician, but I was on this cruise ship. Half the cruise ship was for a corporate private event, which I was performing at, but there was another magician on the cruise ship. And he goes, the guy was amazing. By all accounts, he had original magic. He was great. His presentation was amazing. He was a better magician than me. But at the end of his show, he got a little round of applause. He goes, but I did my show, and I'm going to show you my set list, and it's nothing outstanding. He goes, I got 3 standing ovations. And the reason I'm not saying this to give myself a pat on the back or to let you know I got 3 standing ovations, I'm saying because the difference was I told stories that connected with these people, that they responded. And so, there's also nothing like this for stand-up comics. But these guys are performers. They're just like stand-up comics. I think parallel to the allied arts, with magic, juggling. I mean, it's all kind of similar. Mm-hmm. You're entertaining people at the end of the day, and how you do that, and how can you get better at doing that?
It's another form of performing arts.
Yeah,
bottom
how
line.
can you be the best performer that you can? And so these guys really get into it, and that's why I love about it, because there's nothing like that for stand-up comedy. I mean, you're fucking on your own. Nobody gives a shit. You got to figure it out or get the fuck out.
I absolutely agree with the storytelling, though.
Yeah, because but I mean, it's and it's great. I mean, it's really kind of it's kind of cool that these guys and this guy was great. He was amazing, and other stuff, and how, like you can, like I've done shows for people where they come out and they grab your arm and physically go, God, I needed that laugh so much. Or I was at my aunt's funeral this afternoon. I came here to get something to eat, and I was thinking about going in. I wasn't going to go in, and I decided to go in, and I'm so fucking glad I did. You made me laugh so hard, because my heart was broken, and you made, and so you don't realize the power you have as an entertainer. You have the ability to touch people's lives. You have the ability and that's the kind of gift part of it. It's a real
like CBD, man.
Yes, like a lot like CBD. In fact, you should take CBD before you come to the show. It's even better, and you can get that at. No, I'm kidding.
Boomer Natural Wellness. All right, so you do have that ability to touch people, and you can either take them away from what it was they were going through, like completely get their mind off it, and you could be an escape for them.
Right.
Or you can take the thing that is holding them down or bothering them and address it in a way that you turn the pain into like a good feeling.
Well, you also, or maybe you went through something similar that they're going through, but
you're going to get some nostalgia
but
from it.
You've turned it into a thing, and like that connects with somebody. That would connect with somebody who go, oh my God, and you made them laugh about it, and now they have a whole different attitude about it. I mean, that's powerful, man. And and some people go, and he was talking about vulnerability. He says, he goes, lead with your vulnerability. It makes you interesting. It makes you, most people try to come on, kind of lead with your vulnerability. He told a great story about his kids, he, because his oldest, he goes, we used to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and then he got a little older, and so we started going to Dave & Buster's. But at Chuck E. Cheese, they give you the tickets. But at Dave & Buster's, you collect all your points on this card. And so it's not, you go, and then we go into the store, he goes, you can have anything you want. And so every time he would go get a bag of gummy bears on the way home, he would eat these gummy bears, but he was accumulating all these points. And he goes, and then there were like 220,000 points they had on the card. And he said, you can have anything you want. Anything you want. He goes, I want my gummy bears. He goes, you can have those, but you can have anything you want. He points at this giant unicorn up the top. He goes, I want the unicorn. And of course, he goes, I got the smartwatch. Dad got the smartwatch. And so this kid's struggling coming out of Dave & Buster's with this giant unicorn. And he's struggling to carry it. He goes, you like a unicorn? What? He goes, yeah, man. He goes, my sister's going to be so happy that he got it for his sister.
Aww.
You know what I mean? But I mean, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But see what I'm saying? It's like a visceral reaction. But the way he told the story was great. And so he had pictures behind him and everything else. And so I find that stuff great. It's like, the more... I mean, as long as you've been doing stand-up, you can always learn new tricks and all new stuff.
Yeah.
And so I find that's, singer-songwriters do it.
Mm-hmm.
Singer-songwriters do the same thing. They do it with screenplays. I mean, you're telling a story that connects with people,
And you're putting vulnerability in it.
You lead with your vulnerability. It makes you more interesting.
Absolutely, man. I think that
gets the audience to care about you right away because they want to take care of you.
It's one of the biggest truths ever. Like, it's something that I realized, I think, really early in stand-up, that to be vulnerable really puts you like a mile above everybody.
Yeah.
I think that from working in a comedy club and being so exposed to stand up at a young age, I learned that pretty quick. Where I think comics don't really learn that until way later.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm like a fucking ranter and a raver. I'm a fucking lunatic on stage. But I figure I got to soften I've learned to soften myself up a little bit over the years. But certainly accessible. But you have
points of vulnerability in your acting. You don't even realize it.
Really?
Of course you do. Of course you do, because you're real with them. You can't not be real with them, and you're not being vulnerable.
No, I'm a fucking troglodyte, bro. I'm a fucking rock-eating fucking troglodyte. Buzz, smash, and crush. No.
I mean, off the top of my head right now, I can't think of an exact example to give you, but I know I've seen you give them something and be like, here's my downfall, and this is why.
Well, we're getting broken up with via text message.
Yeah, that's a great example too.
That's what happened to you.
Oh yeah, I got broken up with via text message, and if people go to Jimmy Shubert, comedian, on my fan page, it's pinned at the top of my page. But it's like I woke up one morning, and it was a couple days before Christmas, and I get this text: I can't give you what you emotionally need. You seem like a nice guy. You deserve the truth. It's not you. It's me. And I was like, fuck. I mean, I was like, I'm contemplating moving my life to be with this person. I was contemplating, marrying this person. Mm-hmm. And you dumped me via fucking text message. I didn't even rate a phone call. And I tried not to be, but I mean, why don't you just do it via Twitter? No longer at Jimmy Shubert. I said I would have been less hurt and insulted if you'd fucking hired one of those guys to sell the oranges on the side of the freeway to do it. Jaime, she says she don't love you no more. She wants you to have these oranges in your great time of sadness. Sorry, amigo. No more amore. I'm going to thank you, Javier. Thank you for the oranges and thank you for the eye contact. And then you think about, like, if you go back in history,
Thanks for the eye contact.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus. And so, but yeah, it's. Boy, man, love is a fucking bitch, ain't it?
But see, that comes from a real story that happened.
Absolutely,
it's absolutely 100% real, but you've buried it with so much, like you made it into a joke, where you can if you really try, you can make anything into a joke, and you made it into I've heard you do that bit so many times, and like. You don't even hear the vulnerability, but it's there.
Oh, no.
Because it came from something that really happened.
Plus, it's fucking painful. I mean, it's so fucking painful.
Every bit's got to have some truth in it, or at least vulnerability.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's funny. I've been going through something in my personal life with it, and I've been watching Crimes of Passion and Women Who Kill to help me get through it, because you watch these shows and you go, holy fuck. I mean, like, these women marry these guys knowing full well they're marrying them for their money and they're going to murder them. Mm-hmm. And they slowly fucking poison them, or they fucking shoot them with a fucking shotgun, or they set up the fucking side dick that they're fucking. They set this fucking guy up to come in and murder the guy. And what happens is, they wound up murdering a fucking guy, and he was nothing but fucking nice to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They wound up murdering. Like, my old man was a homicide detective. Like, I know how hard they work. You're not going to get away with it.
No.
And the thing is, it's usually somebody who knows the other person. It's very rare, and it's a very small percentage of people who murder people who they have no idea who they are. I mean, we live in the current day America.
No, it happens.
Back when my dad was a cop.
We're talking about a homicide,
And I mean, they fucking then hack the body into pieces and fucking toss it in a river. I mean, you're talking about a fucking human being. I mean, like, the diabolicalness. I mean, like it's it's love is a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
That wasn't love. That was money.
But what I'm saying is, and you look at Crimes of Passion, where these, like, I saw.
Oh, the guys who were oblivious to it.
Yeah, well. What happened was, there was these two couples who lived next to each other, and this one girl was going over to, and they were like hanging out and socializing with, and then the guy started having an affair with the other guy's wife, and she kept going back and forth and playing both guys, until the fucking one guy wound up killing the other fucking dude. Like, and another, and I saw another version of this. It was a Chinese woman who was dating had a guy in Hong Kong was waiting for his visa papers come through, but she was dating this Indian guy. And he wound up murdering her because she fucked and lied to him and twisted him and pushed him. And there's some women like that. And if you don't, like now I'm fucking, now you, like, it's like, you got to be careful who you let into your life and who you share your energy with because, some people, it's like, some people go from bad relationship to bad relationship to bad relationship. It's a cyclical pattern of behavior. And if you don't fucking stop it, you don't fucking change it. I used to date this one girl. And, she had 2 kids from 2 different guys, and she married this guy, and they went through a divorce. And she grabbed her kids, and she moved across the country with the fucking kids. But the same thing happened to her when she was a kid. Her dad was physically abusive to the mom, and they got the guy, physically assaulted her mom, and they got divorced, and she moved away, and she took the kids with her, and they would go spend the summers with their dad. But she did the same thing to her kids that was done to her. And it's like you have to be careful. You get in these patterns of behavior. And if you're not paying attention, it's easy to you let these people into your fucking life and they fucking wreak havoc. You know what I mean? They wreak fucking havoc. You're going, look, I love my life. I have a fucking amazing life. I have amazing friends. I get to travel the world and do. If I'm gonna let you into that, you better be an emotionally healthy fucking human being. And you think you know people, and then you go, holy fuck, this is the phoniest fucking person I've ever met in my fucking life. I mean, this person was fucking playing a game or using you, and there's a lot of fucking. You got to be careful, man. I mean, it's that love is a motherfucker, bro. You don't get you fall in love with who you fall in love with, And you go in hindsight, if I knew that, I would never have gotten involved. But with that
it also leaves like a permanent mark on you too. Even if if there's somebody completely crazy or like you said, oh, they turn out to be phony as hell, and you get them out of your life, there's still that mark that they leave on you from that. You know what I mean? Like there's it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Well, you don't stop loving people. But if you love somebody, you love somebody. You wish them well, even though. But you just go, I don't.
You got that little scar that hurts every once in a while that you.
Yeah, but I don't want that person in my life anymore. I don't want you near my life. Yeah. I mean, I don't want you. It's.
Well, I think Kevin's saying that it could affect your next relationship, or you meet somebody else.
Well, you
just get your guard up.
Yeah. Well, what you have to do is you have to take time off.
Sure.
And you have to heal. You can't rush into another relationship. You don't go get engaged to a fucking rebound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take fucking time and you heal and you figure out what the fuck I really want in my life. And so, but shit happens. So, but, everybody's working out their own shit, bro.
Just like everything's a learning experience. Like,
it is.
Anytime you go to, if you go to a job and you got fired and you're like, oh man, I wasted 2 years of my life. No, you didn't.
You learned.
You fucking learned something.
Yeah, you learned something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you learned something.
Same thing applies in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got hurt, but you learned.
Yeah.
For next time. Maybe you learned in a bad way, but you still learned.
Sometimes, bro, that's the best thing that ever happened to you. It motivates you. If you take that and you turn it into motivation and you go, you know what, maybe this is what I needed. Maybe this is what I needed. Maybe I need to get out of my comfort zone. Maybe I was too comfortable. And maybe what you cannot do is lay in a fetal position underneath an end table, working on the callus on the roof of your mouth from a loaded revolver, going, I can't do it. Anyway,
yeah, you can't do it,
no,
man.
you can't do that. I mean, life goes on. And, there's a million people in my life, not a million, but there's a lot of people in my life that I love and I care about. Why am I going to worry about the one who fucked up? Look, I know what I bring to the table. I'm a great fucking human being. If you didn't see it, then you didn't see it. And, I mean, dude, there's the riddle, bro. You could figure it out. There's the pizza. It's a round piece of food they put in a square box.
That you eat in triangles.
And they slice in triangles. And when you can figure out that mystery, you can figure out fucking women, bro. You know what I mean? It's like so kind of. Then you may leave the temple, grasshopper. But women do stuff that fucking only makes sense to them and nobody fucking else, and that's fine. Yeah. But when you invite that into your life, you really kind of.
I mean, I'm sure women say the same thing about us because we're doing things that make sense to us.
Here's the distinction, though. And here's the distinction is that, people, like I said, cyclical, make the same mistakes over and over, and then all men suck. No, You have bad taste in fucking men. You know what I mean? And men do the same thing.
And you make the same mistakes over and over again.
And men do the same thing. Men do the exact same fucking thing. Men, you can't just say you're painting with some pretty broad brushstrokes. If you're going, all women suck, well then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, all fucking men suck. Well then you're an asshole too. No, because there's fucking amazing human beings out there, and if you can't find one, be one.
Yeah.
And stop being a fucking douchebag about it, and go live your fucking life. Go live and do what the fuck you want to do, and stop worrying about it. And what'll happen is, if you're doing that, then you will attract those things.
Totally, dude. You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, but
if you're enjoying, first of all, you got to enjoy yourself. You can't keep complaining about the wrong type of person that you're meeting. You have to be able to be happy on your own, and then if you meet a great person, it's just a bonus.
Well, yeah. Well,
if you focus on like living a good life and enjoying what you have and just enjoying your life, you're going to attract the right people.
Yeah, there's a great series of books. There's the Toltec Wisdom series. A guy named it's called The Mastery of Love by I just had his fucking name on the tip of my tongue. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote these books, and it's great. He talks about that your heart is a kitchen, and in that kitchen there's all the food you need, there's all the tools you need, there's all the stuff you need to be completely happy. And what a lot of people do is they go, hey, you're great, here's my happiness, and that person takes it and drops on the ground and shatters in a million fucking pieces. But you don't need that person to be happy. You don't need anybody else to be happy. You need to learn how to enjoy your own company and be your own best friend.
For sure.
You know what? I mean, you have to be a good, whole person. And then you have to, and if you're a good, whole, rounded person, then chances are you will meet another whole person, like a woman who's a whole human being as well. That's why I'm writing a book on relationships called How to Be a Good Whole.
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, I know.
But what's your definition of a whole good person? What exactly are you?
Well, somebody who's mentally healthy for sure. I mean, look, people have lives. Look, if I'm guilty of anything, I'm guilty of having a life before I fucking met you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go back and question me about past fucking relationships. I didn't even know you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sorry. I've had
and people change.
And I've had a great fucking life. I've met some amazing people. I've had I've been in a series of long-term relationships with people. I've always been fucking, faithful. I mean, if I'm in love with somebody, I would love to be like a one-woman guy if I could find a fucking woman that would be that to me.
Sure.
I mean, it's like, it's weird. I've been doing a lot of like deep thinking. Women are like, this. I was talking to this clinical psychiatrist who was talking about, the human being or the human condition. And at the end of the day, we all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be treated like human beings. I mean, we all want the same thing at the end of the day. But, the problem is that, you're raised and you have your family circumstances, or you have your circumstances you were born in, which you have no control over. Well, I was born into, my mom was never there. Once she was born, she took off. And she said, well, if that happens, if you don't have the love of your mother, if your mom is fucking absent from your life, then what you have done to this child is you put them in a life sentence. They have drug problems. They have fucking alcohol problems. They will be poor for the rest of their life. They'll have no self-worth. And that's not, and I know there's a million fucking Horatio Algiers rags to riches story of people who got a hold of that, were able to turn it around, like Tony Robbins or other people but they do the big work upstairs. They figure out how to create self-worth and they are worthy, and that didn't have anything to do with them. But some people, like if the dad's not present, they just think, I mean, look at all the the single moms. Let's have a hand for single moms. I mean, what have the single moms done? I mean, the people that grow up you get incarcerated, you commit fucking crimes. I mean, look at the fucking statistics. It's fucking crazy. I mean, look at there's guys that grew up without dads, and it's fucking horrible. It's not their fault. It's nothing they did.
Yeah.
They're valuable fucking human beings, but it's just that fucking hole that's left in the fucking, like, you can't drop enough drugs and fucking cocaine into that hole that's ever going to fill it. You have to like really work on yourself. You got to be involved in a life's journey of stuff. Like my father, I was talking to my dad a couple summer times ago when we were sitting on the car in the parking lot. My father lost his dad when he was 8. And I was talking about the family. Like, what did you do when you decided with Mom you're gonna have kids and stuff? He goes, yeah, well, we're gonna start a family. I said, so what happened? Well, we had Bobby, and then Joey came, and then you came, and then John came. I said, yeah, then there's a little bit of break before the other two brothers. I go, what happened? He goes, well, we got a TV set. But I was talking to my dad about his father because I know my dad lost his dad when he was 8 years old. And I said to him, I said, do you have memories of your dad? Do you remember your dad? And my dad's chin started fucking quivering like he was almost on the verge of fucking crying. And I was like, oh my God, he's never gotten fucking over it. Like, and you talk to anybody, like, you never fucking get over that. I mean, you never do. And
a lot of people just bury things down and never talk about it.
Well, yeah, but dude, that stuff comes up. You're better off letting it out.
Yeah.
Don't bury it.
No.
Talk about it. Get it out of your system. Figure it out. Fucking learn how to fucking heal from it. And I talked to him. I said, so then you have 6 kids, knowing that my dad had an older half brother that was 9 years older than him. Kind of looked out after my dad, but my dad was then raised by his mom and her 2 sisters, and he said, he goes, oh yeah, Uncle John kind of looked after me a little bit. We got closer as we got older, and stuff like that. And I said, didn't you have dreams? Didn't you have goals? Didn't you have things you wanted to do? He goes, sure. He goes, but then you guys became our goals and our dreams, and then my fucking chin started to quiver, you know what I mean? Because it's true, and but yeah, it's interesting, you think you get stuff figured out, and as life goes on, you get these lessons in life that you learn, and if you're paying attention, if you're woke, and I'm not saying woke like,
no, yeah.
I'm talking about if you're self-aware.
Are you really writing a book, though? With that title?
No, I'm actually writing a book. It's a tough love self-help book called I'm Fine. What the fuck's the matter with you? Subtitle, if you can't get along with me, there's something fucking matter with you. Yeah, no, I did start outlining the book, so I'm working on it, and so I've been doing a lot of research about these things. But it's not going to be a self-help book, but it's certainly going to be about my life. But I mean, whenever you go through things like a breakup and stuff like that, then you start to like look inside. I think everybody's so outwardly focused now. Everybody's looking at their phones. Everybody's how many likes do I got? Everybody's posting on Instagram, and I think really to figure out these problems, you have to go inside, and you have to do the big work up top. You really have to fucking look at yourself and be really fucking honest with yourself. You have to be really fucking honest with yourself. Nobody's fucking perfect. I mean, we all have our fucking stories. There's a million stories out there, and we're just 3 of them. And I guarantee you think you got problems. You don't have fucking problems.
Yeah.
You ain't on fucking top of the list. Believe me, there's fucking people that are struggling with fucking, the diseases and spina bifida and things that they have to fucking get up every day and figure out how to make life fucking work. And if you're healthy and you got all 10 fingers and 10 toes and you're reasonably healthy, then you have no fucking excuses, But most people you go to a career. I gotta go to my career. I'm having a career. I go, it's not a career. It's a fucking job. It's a fucking job. Figure out what I mean, that was the thing. Like you watch City Slickers and fucking what was that guy's Curly?
Curly. Oh man,
I love that movie.
Yeah, but he goes, it's that one thing.
Yeah,
it's that one thing, and if you can figure that out.
What your finger?
What your finger? Would you finger bang somebody, Curly? No, but the thing is, if you can figure out. My interpretation, as if you could figure out something that you would do in life for free, that you would love it so much that you would do it for free, and then you figure out how to make a living doing it, then you never really work a day in your life. You never really work a day in your life because you can't wait to get up, and the alarm goes off. Oh my God, this is awesome. I gotta get up. I gotta fucking start working on some bits. I gotta go do radio. I gotta do some TV interviews. I can't wait to get in front of this audience tonight. I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it, But
nobody, like you said, nobody's perfect. I was thinking the same thing. And when you think about yourself, 99% of people, when they think about yourself, you know you're not perfect. You think about yourself and you go like, well, I have this wrong with me. I got problems. You're not perfect.
Well,
so
dude,
why would you expect anybody else to be perfect?
Yeah, well,
and put that pressure on it and sabotage your relationship from the beginning.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like it's like people who fucking cheat. I mean, why the fuck would you undermine your relationship from the inside out? If you don't want to be in a relationship, then get out of the fucking relationship. But it's you're right. Nobody is fucking perfect. Yeah. And you're look how fucking tough it is for you to change. You go, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to fucking get in shape. I want to do this. You know how fucking incredibly difficult that fucking change is? Like to fucking get up every day and commit to it and go, I'm going to do it. And you got to dig fucking deep. And then you think you're going to change somebody's fucking life with a tweet or a fucking Facebook post? Are you fucking retarded? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say retarded. Mentally encumbered? Are you mentally encumbered? I mean, like seriously, and the whole thing, there's so many distractions in your life, Lately, I've been doing my phone. I take my phone and I put it in the microwave and I close the door.
Oh, dude, I fucking love it, man.
No, because it keeps the fucking, first off, I don't really trust it because there's like radiation and shit from, but I also, my phone is for me to keep in touch with the world. It's not for you to keep in touch with me. I mean, I got shit to fucking do, I'm fucking writing some screenplays. I'm outlining this book. I'm working on some stuff. I'm gonna be left fucking alone.
Dude, I'm going to the lake this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna turn my phone off. Like I'm just gonna fucking relax.
The funny thing is because people think like, well, did you hashtag it? Oh my God, did you hashtag it, Karen? That's so brave of you. You're like, shut the fuck up, you fucking moron. You know what? You go make a difference. Why don't you go to a hospital and take a book in there and read to some sick kids, or go to an old age home and talk to that fucking greatest generation and find out what their stories are and talk to them and make a difference in their life, or go down in the soup kitchen and feed some homeless people, or fucking make a human connection and touch people's lives. I mean,
but I mean, it's so sad that anything that you want to do, you can't just do that. You have to also now hashtag it up and make sure that you're posting 2 posts a day on fucking Instagram, and then have your stories going 24/7. You got to make sure you tweet. You can't just be a stand-up comic. You got to do fucking 2 podcasts.
I know.
You got to figure out how to do video, and then it really is unfortunate because the more of that, the less you can. I have a little extra time to volunteer. Like it's just not. You know what I mean?
Well,
you don't have time for anybody but to work on yourself and your own family.
I do it with shows. This Thursday, we're doing a show for the Youth Project with Kim Goldman, Ron Goldman's sister.
Yeah, if you could do it shows, it's 2 birds, 1 stone. You know?
But it's also raises a lot of money for a good cause, and they work with this children up there who have problems with drug addiction and alcohol abuse, and are victims of domestic violence and have sexual identity issues and everything else. And so you raise money and you do what you can if you can use your art to help people, and I do it all the time. I'm doing a Crack Up for Cancer.
The best when you can
Crack
do that.
Up for Cancer is September 14th down at the Stars Center in Tampa, Florida,
nice.
where they're raising money for this cause. It's a 13th annual thing. I mean, I do probably about 10 or 15 of those shows a year because I feel incredibly blessed to have the life that I do, and I feel it's important to give back. And if I can do it with my art, then you're right. 2 birds with 1 stone.
It's extremely fortunate to be able to do it at the same time, because like you said, you love doing it and you would do it for free, so might as well do it for charity. At the same time, you're working on your craft. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and so and I. It's like going overseas and entertaining the troops. You're going to pay enough of your expenses so you can come back and take care of some of your bills, but you're not going to make a lot of money. But I don't give a fuck. It's not about the money. What it's about? It's about like bringing a little piece of home over to these guys who are in incredibly difficult situations. And so, I think it's important. And I find people who, like you said, are like they're depressed or they're miserable, and you know why? Because they're all in their own head, and it's all about them. And if you want to fucking get out of that, then get out of your head and get out of your house and go fucking touch human lives.
Yeah.
And exercise incredible acts of kindness every fucking day.
It's a part of being a whole, like you said. That's a part of it. No one's perfect. No one's gonna be that perfect whole. But I mean,
hey, speaking of holes, how's your sister? Listen,
no, but just put the effort. Just let me know you're putting the effort in. You know what I mean? Like, at least do your best to go. Like, make an effort to try your best. You're not gonna be perfect, but that's a part of being a perfect whole. Is like am I being the best I can be to my loved ones and friends that actually know me? Am I being the best that I can be to people that don't even know me, strangers?
Well, be a complete fucking human being, and be a
huge one. Being okay with yourself. Besides all that,
dude.
That's the biggest one.
Well, dude, the biggest one is to take care of yourself and love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else?
Yeah.
How can you do anything else? I call it.
And how can anybody else love you?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, I'm saying, I call it exercising extreme self-care.
Yeah.
You know, and people talk about their diet, about eating healthy, but your diet isn't just what you eat; it's also what you read. It's also the people you associate with. It's
wellness, man.
It's what you watch. It's who you associate with, and so it's about being well. And you think you get this stuff figured out, and you get older, and then you go, "Fuck! I wish I had known that 20 years ago. Or I wish I knew this stuff." But yeah, I think that goes on your whole life. I mean, you go, "Boy, if I knew at 50 what I knew at fucking 43, or if I knew at 43 what I knew at 37, or if I knew at 37 what I knew at 28."
You can do that all day, bro.
You could do. If I knew at 79 what I knew at 84, I mean,
Turn Jewish when you get older.
yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah, just my
A
old
couple
guy.
of months ago, I had a nutritionist in here, and Kevin wasn't here. It was just me and her, and we were talking. And if you listen to that episode, it was just good to hear about what you shouldn't eat and why you shouldn't eat and stuff like that. But one thing that she said that I never really heard anybody say is, if you focus so much on what you can and cannot eat, it's also really unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go pig out whenever the fuck you want, have red meat every day and die of a heart attack.
But have a cheat day.
But if you're constantly it's creating an anxiety and stress. And anxiety and stress slows down metabolism, which you won't lose weight. Yeah, it causes heart problems also, or mental problems, or it's just. I'm not saying like be unhealthy with your food. I'm just saying it's more than just a diet. It's absolutely happiness.
Yeah, and the other thing is too is whenever I can, I like to do podcasts in a sauna.
We're gonna get out of here, bro.
No, I know. I'm just
we gotta go to the Comedy Store anyway. But before you go,
No, I know. I'm just saying, but I think this is it's really I think we do have the internet. There's so much information out there that if you really want it, it's available. I mean, I like the iTunes University. I mean, you didn't go to fucking college. I didn't go to Harvard, but I could go sit in the back of the room, because you can go online and watch a fucking lecture by a Harvard professor on history. And I love history. It's my favorite subject.
Me too.
But it's all, besides dialing up porn, the internet has a lot of other great stuff out there.
Great.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't get an education so you can have a piece of paper on your wall that says that you did something. You know what I mean? You get an education because you want to be educated in that subject. You're never too old to learn.
Let me tell you something, bro, and I've always learned this, and maybe it's an insecurity I had because I never really did go to college. I went a couple semesters, but what I always felt that I was responsible for my own education. I mean, that's why I'm a voracious reader. I could read 3 books a week. Like when I travel, read a book on a plane on the way in, a book on a plane on the way out, and that's not even including the stuff I read when I'm online or different stuff like that. I prefer a book. Because a man who reads a book has lived 1,000 lives. There's a Tom Wolfe book. I think it's called "The Measure of a Man" or "A Man." It's called "A Man in Full." That book was amazing, an amazing book. There was a scene, my palms get sweaty, and you're there. You know what I mean? I mean that kind of stuff is it's all there if you want it. You just got to make time for it.
Yeah.
And stop being distracted. I mean, you sit in a bar every fucking night and drink yourself into oblivion and get up and go to your soul-sucking job and find time to make time for yourself, I mean, we're all in charge of it, and we think we got to live up to other people's expectations.
It's a necessity.
Well, we think we got to live up to other people's expectations. You got to live the life you want.
You
not
have
the
to.
life your mom and dad want. Not the life that, you got to live the life you want.
You're not going to be able to give all those other things 100% if you're not taking that time.
And I got to tell you something, bro. I will tell you something right now. Life is fucking short, man. It goes by in a flash. And I know a lot of people that thought, hey, I got the next thing you know, you got a message that that guy passed out. Go live your fucking life, man. And
You
fuck
got to
all
live.
the bullshit.
With comics especially, if you're not living, you're not really talking about anything that an audience is going to relate to. You have to go and live to talk about life.
We got to have life experiences.
You can't go be a famous superstar fucking, movie stars comic.
That's the problem with the younger generation.
Yeah.
I mean, they sit there. You know, when my nephew was living with me a couple summers ago, I mean, the guy would come in. He'd wake up, Monday morning in the same clothes he left working Friday. You know, there'd be a couple empty Red Bull cans. He'd play fucking video games and fucking update his fucking social media like he lived like a rock star. I go, you never left the fucking house. What the fuck are you talking about? You live like a rock star? You fucking drank a couple of Red Bulls. You fucking beat off and fucking you ate Doritos and beat off till your dick was orange and played fucking and played Gearworks 5. You know what's the matter with you?
You gotta taste dirt to analyze it, and then you gotta live. You gotta live life to know the difference.
Well,
you know
the
what I
other
mean?
thing is too is like I had this great thing is failure is every bit of a part of success. Is success a part of success? You have to fail. You
Yes.
have to I've had an incredibly, there were times in my life it was incredibly difficult. I was in a motorcycle accident. I thought I was going to lose my leg. I had to work back. I was 3 years on crutches and canes. I was fucking homeless. I was sleeping on the roof of the Comedy Store. I was couch surfing. I was doing whatever the fuck I could. If you look at and all these years later, I mean, I've had a great life. I've traveled the fucking world, man. I fucking get to tell jokes. I'm getting to open for Russell Peters. I opened for the late Sam Kinison. I get to hang out with some of the funniest people in the world. I love hanging out with comedians. They're my favorite people in the world.
That's great.
Because if you're usually fucking laughing. If you're not laughing, you're having these most amazing, intense conversations because they really are. They're really some of the most hyper-aware, intelligent people I've ever met in my life. I mean, look at Joe Rogan's fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Half the books on tape are guys that were guests on Joe Rogan's podcast. I looked over this guy's fucking awesome.
It's unreal, right?
But this is it. We live in this new age now. So, and you can have access to the information, but you have to figure out how to apply it to your life. How do I apply it to my life? And so that's the challenge because you can know the information and not fucking apply it. And then what good is it?
Yeah.
But you have to figure out what works for you. And so it's everybody's journey is different. I'm just, I'm incredibly blessed to be able to do this. So
Yeah, man, we are. Speaking of,
and people should be like you said. It's important for people to be kind themselves. Forgive yourself for everything. I'm gonna look at my phone here for a minute.
no, sure, go ahead.
Just because I was going through some stuff, and this is a great quote. It's this little app I got called Reminders from God. It says, "No more looking back. Give yourself and all you have ever met a fresh start. Forget their sins and failures and your own. Forgive it all. Because if you don't, all that stuff lives in your brain. I got this relationship with my father, get all this stuff in your fucking head. And if you just let it all go and you forgive it all, you create this opening, and then you can create this new life in which you want to step into. But you have to forgive all of it and let it go, and including yourself, and step in and fucking create the future that you want. And it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But if you do the big work. Now, we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
No, yeah, we're gonna go hang out at the store right now. Speaking of hanging with comics, and so let's get going over there. I'm glad to have you on, man.
Thanks, buddy, and we'll work together again soon.
What's the what is your website? JimmyShubert.com.
Yeah, people go to my website. My website's kick-ass, bro. Go to JimmyShubert.com.
JimmyShubert.com.
And you can follow me on all my social media.
Are you
going
to put all the dates up there with Russell Peters?
Already done, bro.
Nice. Okay.
Already done, bro. I don't fuck around.
So JimmyShubert.com.
What do you think you do, cocksucker? Joey Bananas. What do you think, Uncle Joey?
No, man. I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, and whenever your name comes up on someone's podcast, I mean, it's come up several times on Joey's and a couple other people's as well. When your name comes up, it's always how much you've helped other comics. It's always, whether they're making that point or not, it's always like that's really the point that I get from it. Joey's often talk about how you used to give him the slides, or you even given him.
Yeah, me and Joey were like, I would always share the sides with Joey because Joey was hustling like I was hustling.
Yeah,
like Joey, we were always trying. Even Billy Gardell, like I would get these sides, but there was like a 6-month period. Like if I didn't get the role, Billy Gardell got the role, and then we like 6 months, and we'd come to a head. But I've always helped out comedians. That's what I've realized, man. Even today, this younger female comedian reached out to me, and she said, "I just want to pick your brain a little bit about something." I said, "Yeah, let's go grab a coffee." And I talked to her about comedy, about presentation, and she got 4 years in. She's a little younger, but I mean, that's the only way the art form goes on, is if you share what you know and what you've learned. And people have done that for me. I mean, Kinnison did it for me. I used to have conversations with Paul Mooney and Gary Shandling and frickin' Jeff Cesario and fucking Louis Anderson about what makes a great fucking comedian. And these guys would talk to you about it because they love sharing the information. And so I feel an obligation because people have done it for me always. People have always reached out and helped me. And if you're talking about the Bobby Lee story, where Bobby Lee hadn't had anything to eat in 3 days, was sleeping in his car behind a Comedy Store, and I go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I grab him.
That's another story I heard. I forgot where I heard that one.
And I took him down and I fucking fed him. I go, "Get whatever the fuck you want, dude. Eat like a fucking horse, and then we'll get a bag to go." And you
dude,
can
he
take
did say that too. Yeah,
but
that's
you know
right.
what? Because I fucking love Bobby Lee, number one, and also because I've been that guy.
But it wasn't just that story, dude. There was like it's just an assortment of like fucking examples that I've heard that from the beginning till even now, and I know now because I've experienced you've taken me on the road, and not only that, but given me opportunities, and then I get booked at that club later on. And
but they booked you up to a headline, but you did that. I only fucking gave you the opportunity. You did that.
But a lot of guys don't give the opportunity.
Well, you know what, bro?
But the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that you give the opportunity, and you've always made an effort to help out comics, and it made me extremely happy to hear that Russell Peters is throwing you all these dates, because I go like, man, I'm glad to see that someone's fucking doing it for him. I know they used to, and that's why you do it.
Yeah, but
I'm glad to see that someone's currently doing it for you, because I think you deserve it, bro.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And listen, let me tell you something.
Because I wish I could do it, but I'm not in a position where I can do it.
No, but you will be one day.
I will be one day, bro.
And you will do it.
But for now, I'm glad that there's someone else that is in a position helping you out.
And the great thing about it is, bro, you should live your life like that. And that way, when you're older and you look back, you can enjoy your life twice because you live your life that. And I do. I probably, to my detriment, I've helped a lot of people. It doesn't always come back the other way, but that's not why I do it. I can't stop being who I am because they're not who that, because whatever. There's a lot of missed opportunities on the other side where I thought it might come back, but it didn't. But that's not why I do it.
Yeah.
I was raised properly. My dad was like that. And it's one of those things. It's just, you help people out when you can, and you be kind to people, because I've been in this business. I've been the guy on the bottom. I've been the guy who's thinking about quitting. I've been the guy who's had to live on the fucking roof of the Comedy Store. I had fucking pins hanging out of my leg. I had no insurance, and Mitchie Shore fucking paid for me to get an operation that I needed. And a lot of situations that I could fucking tell you that people stepped up and helped me, and I always feel an obligation to pay it fucking forward.
Well, that's great, man.
And a lot of people should do that. A lot more people should do that. I think people, if they would stop with this fucking stupidity online and really just be kinder to human beings and realize that you see yourself in them. We're all connected in this fucking giant human ecosphere. What hurts you hurts me. What hurts you hurts me. And you fucking help people out. And that's the world I would love to live in. And so I can't fucking change the world, but I can change my world and what I do.
Yeah, well said. Well put.
All right. I got to take a shit.
Let's get out of here, you guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to go to Boomer Natural Wellness. You can use the promo code LittleD20 at checkout for 20% off. And go to homesschooledpod.com for upcoming shows and also merch, and how to follow us on social media. And you can even click contact and send a little message there. But that's it, you guys. And thanks for tuning in to the Homeschooled Podcast. We'll see you next time.